I've been called a life coach more and more over these past few months. And as much as I appreciate, the compliment, I'm not too big into labels, so I don't know about all that. But that being said, the idea of being a life coach to me is learning from life's experiences. And Lord knows I got a bushel full to choose from over the last, 20, almost 30 years now. And that's why I share so many of my pitfalls and mistakes and flubs and disappointments and fears because I want to be able to help anyone and everyone out there try to navigate through some of the mistakes that I've previously made. I didn't always have somebody to kind of point me in the right direction, especially in my adult life. So I hope to be that person for others. That being said, one of the lessons that I've shared quite a bit over these last few weeks, and especially this week heading into the Christmas holiday, is one that I had to learn and have continued to remind myself of over the years. And that's to control and only control what I can control. There once was a time when I had a distinct need, a fixation even, to control everything that was going on around me. If I wanted to, make sure the sun rose in the west and set in the east, I was going to try to do that. Now, obviously, that's a huge over exaggeration, but it gives you an idea to what extent I would go to drive myself insane because I wanted to be able to control anything and everything that was going on in my life, anything that was impacting me. And over time, and especially since I became a business owner, I realized that I can't control everything. I just can't. Whether I want to or not really doesn't change the fact that I can't. So when something's happening, my father passing away certainly was, a tough stretch for us. Trying to help my mom navigate through, things that she really doesn't know about, the financial side of things and so forth. There's been a lot of things that I've had to learn along the way that I wasn't aware of when it came to, what they need and what they don't need and so forth. And now on top of that, my family being, my wife and son being sick, heading into our holiday break, those are things that would in the past have forced me to put my head through a wall. And now it's more along the lines of, all right, what can I control? What can't I control? And once I outline what I can't control, I move that aside because there's nothing I can do about it. Whatever's going to happen there is going to happen regardless of what I do. So what I can control is right there in front of me. I'm going to take one thing, one task, one aspect or facet of my life, and I'm going to do what I can to take care of that, to push the needle forward, if you will. And I've shared that quite a bit with my great clients over these past few weeks, because this is a time of year when a lot of things come to a head. We have the holidays coming up. We know how stressful the holidays can be. We may call it Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, but it's not always merry and happy for all of us at all times. And for some of us, it can be a very stressful time of the year, regardless of what we're doing. And you have that, you have the end of the year. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, you're determining, have you succeeded in 2023? What's the plan for 2024? So you have those stressors and that pressure as well. You've got obligations and commitments and your schedule's sort of out of whack because there's the holidays coming up. So you're going here, there, and everywhere. You're spending time with family, with friends and coworkers and here, and your diet kind of goes a little haywire at times because you're out of your element, so to speak. And there's just and it could really, I know I've had clients who said this is really starting to get to me because I was in such a groove. Now all of a sudden I feel like I'm out of it. Well, first things first, it's a lot easier to get out of a groove than to get into it, and even harder to stay in it long term. We're human beings first and foremost, so we're flawed, we're imperfect, we make mistakes, we make poor choices. It happens. Doesn't mean that we've completely failed. It just means that we've veered off course a little bit. So the idea is, all right, so what can I control to get me back to where I need to be. I had a client tell me she was having some personal issues that she was dealing with, and it was starting to weigh heavily on her, and it was impacting, her own self-care, her own health and well-being. And we sat down and just mapped it out and just said, look, I said, there's certain aspects of this you can't control. It is what it is. You can't control how somebody else behaves. You can't control if you're butting heads with somebody, how they react or what they say or do. You can only control from your perspective what you do. So take one thing, work on that, complete that, move on to the next thing. I've had my coaches, my great coaches tell me in the past, one in particular, Jonathan Loudermilk, would tell me to eat the elephant one piece at a time. And when he first told me that, I had no idea what in the hell that meant. But he pointed it out very clearly that the elephant is our life. It's our good points, bad points. It's our successes. It's our failures. It's our mistakes. It's our problems. It's all of it. When you're looking at it in its entirety, the elephant's pretty damn big. Well, if you just eat a toe and then another toe and finish the toes, maybe get to an ankle and that sort of thing, before long, you finish the elephant. And it didn't seem as big and monumental a task as if you as when you were looking at it in its entirety. So the lesson for today, and it's one you can carry throughout the holidays when we're going here, there, and everywhere, is just focus on what you can control. Just let go of everything else. It won't do you any good to waste any time and energy fixating on how to correct something you have no control over. If anything, that's just going to make things worse, because if you're fixated on that, you're not focused on the things you can control that are right in front of you. All right, that's all I got for you today. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all of it. Hope you all have a great time with family and friends, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.